So technically this is part two, Tony, because my eggs, I've just nearly boiled the eggs over. That's I heard some popping in the background. Yeah, no, brilliant. So yeah, the Dubai contact, go for it.
Yeah, so it just ended up being a really cool interview. You know, I would have been interested to kind of see what his real mindset's been over the last 18 months, with him not being able to perform, because he's like a bigger show off than me. Obviously, he's amazing at what he does. He's like, one of the best British performers of all time. I'm a huge fan away from the gig. So I think it's a good job that he's in a good place with, budget and obviously his family. I think that he's had the budget in the past, but not had the people around him. So I think that for somebody like that, you kind of think, I wonder how he's actually getting on. You know what I mean? But there's people out there who've really kind of, but we are through it. I think throughout it, kind of just pulling positives all the time, like, spending time with my family. I've been, for 12 months, I was literally able to read my kids a bedtime story every night. And that's kind of a luxury not afforded to me that often. So it's just a case of just making the most of what we've got. And now, if we got through this last 12 months, we can get through pretty much anything, can't we? And now that we're back in the gig game, it's like we appreciate it so much more. You kind of just, you've got that extra bounce. I mean, how long that lasts, I don't know, but we can always reference this past few months to kind of just go, hang on a minute, you're moaning here about being stuck in traffic on the M6. You would have give up everything just to be stuck on the M6 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So, you kind of, certain things happen in life. And I do try and kind of not compare, but just acknowledge life-changing moments to kind of use them as you can try and pull a positive from absolutely anything. I kind of said, and that's where probably I've changed this last 12 months. And loads of people have commented and saying, your positivity over this period has been, quite inspiring. And I've had that from people like from all over the world, from friends, so I'm not saying that I'm Gandhi, but just, I think that, what it's like if you come home from work and you're in a shit mood, but your missus is in a good mood, her mood will rub off on you and you'll become, and vice versa. If you come home in a good mood and you're missing a shit mood, then you'll kind of go, I'm in a bit of a shitty mood now because she's in a shitty mood. That's like how life and love works. But kind of just trying to think better. What I did get recently was it's called the Mind Journal. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yep. I'm a big fan of journaling. Yep, it's a huge tool.
And I'd never seen it before. And like last week, I was on the road last week. So now, are we talking about DNA? Like when you gigging at first, when I first started doing it, I was 21, 22. I was young. I was apparently single. And, things change. Excuse me. And you prioritize. So we used to do a gig that was 25 minutes away from my front door, but the gig was full of young, loose women, who were just like, so my mates would come there. It was 25 minutes from home, but we'd just get a hotel so we could have a night out there and do what you do. You then get a girlfriend. And so that if you're traveling, you'll probably travel hot, I'll come home if it's an hour away. I'll come home for the sake of it, for being with my missus, and then you get a wife and then you'll come home from like a 3-hour drive, a 2-hour drive, 3-hour drive, whatever. Then you get kids and then you just get home as much as you can because you've got to do the school run. You've got to take the kids to swimming. Things kind of change all the time. So I kind of, when I had kids, being away from them at first was really, really hard. And I mean, and I did 9.5 weeks, Australia, New Zealand. And after 6 weeks, I hit a wall. and I went a bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the first time I was ever away from Marnie for like more than 4 days. You know, she'd come on a little cruise with us, just going Helsinki, Stockholm, and back for 19 nights. They did the first 4 days and then came home. And I was just like, you know, I felt like I'd lost my right arm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, and that was, you know, just kind of what we kind of sometimes do. I'd go to the gym, go for a run, and then I'd go, well, I'll have a beer now. You're not going to drive. I'm not driving this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that doesn't stop some captains, though, does it? And then, you know, kind of have a bit of a meltdown on there.
Yeah.
But then as you kind of become accustomed to it, and it doesn't necessarily get easier, but you become more accustomed, and you know that you're getting home, and that's why you go into work, so you can put food on the table for them. And then oh man, air conditioning, love it. And then
hopefully,
but now we've kind of gone backwards with that. So me kind of going away now for 3 gig runs and doing 3 nights away and not seeing the kids, whether, you know, we still FaceTime at least twice a day anyway. But, you know, trying to get back into that routine, I was a bit kind of concerned about being away last week at Wollacombe, because I just thought, well, I'm there on my own. What am I, you know, where's my mind going to be? But for Father's Day, I got gifted by my kids. You know, they're only 8 and 5, so I imagine the mum bought it. You know, this mind journal, and it's something that I kind of started, and I only really use it when I'm away, which is probably define the object a little bit, but it's what works for you. Because obviously they want you to put in there every day, so you've got to buy another journal after 3 months. That's what they want you to do, obviously.
I've got mine.
And you know, I went into a coffee shop, and I first of all, going for a walk does my head wonders. I have my big bossy headphones on, noise reducing, nearly getting run over by 1,000 cars on a country line, but hey. Going to the cafe, order a coffee, got my heads on, start writing down. Now, opposite me is a table of 6 youths. So there's, you know, they're kind of 16, 18, and you kind of go, you know, you see him straight away. They're going, it's Robbie Williams. They're going, no, it's not. It's a bit fucking fat, isn't he? You know what I mean? Just like let himself go, and you can see him, and they're on the phone. They're going, look, that's it. He's got the tattoo on his knuckle. No, I've got different tattoos to Robbie, but same but different, you know, because they're quite a personal thing. And I kind of started getting a bit worked up because I just thought they're being really rude. And then, I mean, you can tell how old we are because they started singing Candy instead of Angels, which is, you know what I mean? Which I thought was quite funny. And then but at the time, I'm writing down. I mean, in my mind journal, I'm saying what I'm grateful for and what my targets are for the day ahead, and you know what I'm doing, objectives, bang, 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 you know. And then I kind of just and they put yet like a little notes, and I just kind of went, you know what? I've walked in. Somebody said that I look like somebody famous. That's not the end of the day, and that's not the end of the world, is it?
No.
He's apparently not a bad-looking lad either, Robbie. So, first of all, let's take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
I've not got any stage gear on. I'm just there minding my own business. They think that I look like Robbie Williams, which is what my job is. So it looks like I'm doing my job properly. That, you know, and you know what? It's don't ever, and I wrote it down and just put, never ever take it as an insult. Never ever take it as an insult. And so, you know, and I just felt better for writing it down. I was like, yeah, that's how you deal with it. And it, you know, they didn't seem to be bothered me then, and I enjoyed my brunch and had my coffee. Anyway, as I get up, they're going quick. And they went, excuse me, mate, has anybody ever told you like Robbie Williams? And I was like, all right, mate, it's what I do. And like, you can see the staff laughing because they know what I do, because I'm going there quite a bit when I'm gigging down there. And, you know, and they're saying, oh, wow, this is really cool. It's such a cool thing. He said, any chance we just can get a picture for our socials? And it's like, yeah, of course you can. He said, because I heard you like singing and kind of going. And I said, it's just, you know what I mean? Is that what would you do if Robbie was here? Just start singing his songs in front of him? You know what I mean? And they were like, oh, really, really sorry. I said, oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But just doing that and writing it down, and then the end of it, how they were so nice about it and ended up being quite nice kids. You know what I mean? Just, can we just get a quick please from it? You know, using the manners, and just, I came out of there and I was like, you know what? I just feel better for that already. It was like, anybody listening to this will probably go, that's just something of nothing. They said he looked like Robbie Williams. He was getting upset about it. You know what I mean? But for me, it was kind of, it can be a big stigma. If you see people pointing, or, you know, people are like they're like this with a camera, aren't they? You know,
Yep.
You know what I mean? It happens. It doesn't, you know, you kind of have moments, you know, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons I've never wanted to be famous. You know, even you've got a famous face, but I'm not famous, because I could never be able to go to, you know, we went to a beach club yesterday in Ibiza with some friends, and we were chatting about it and just saying, there's no way Robbie could do this. Yeah, I suppose he could hire out the beach club, but, you know, to have that experience of being with friends and just seeing strangers and, you know, just having that interaction, that's the experience, isn't it? You know, that you're there, and, you know, there's no paparazzi lens, there's nobody coming over mithering you. So I think that we get a real kind of good deal out of it. We get, you know, and obviously we don't get the money. We're not as famous. We're not as successful in that kind of, you know, on that level, depending what you class as success. And so I think I've got quite a nice little balance of it. You know what I mean? You get to travel the world, you get to go on stage, you get to sing songs that you love. You know, granted, I've not written them. And then, you know, we just have a great time with it. And then sometimes they pay us. It's like, cool. You know, just what, if that's my life and that's how my life goes for the next 20 years, and every now and then somebody goes, "Hey, Robbie," you know, oh, be it, man. It's just, you know, and that's kind of getting your head around it. And I know there's people out there who, you know, other Robbie tribute acts who would love to be able to get the attention that I do. I know that for a fact. Yeah. And that itself either breeds, you know, a little bit of bitterness, maybe some jealousy, a bit of envy. Yeah. You know, but that's their demons. You can only do you, can't you? You can only do you.
Yes. And it's a hard thing for a lot of people to understand, and to be able to comprehend that. And it does come back down to go back to what you were saying about the journaling. People underestimate the transference of energy that you have from getting it from here to paper, and then even if it's in a journal or not in a journal, just writing it. And I used to do this when I was in a really, really bad place, and I was getting really anxious, and my monkey mind was like, "You're useless. You can't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this." And it's like, it's just all that. Write it down. Write everything down. Whenever I went to a new ship, I'd always get quite anxious and stuff like that. What if people don't like me and all those kind of things? So I used to write things down, and then I would just put it away. That's it, done. I didn't even go back to it. Didn't even need to know what I'd written. Write all this down. And then a month later, once things had settled down, I'd go back to what I'd written. I'd be like, holy shit. I cannot believe I was writing that. That is a crazy person right there. But that's what the monkey mind does. That's what those insecurities and those emotions do. So the transference of energy on writing it down is phenomenal. And that mind journal is cracking. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, and I think that, like we talked about, I don't know how many times you can say DNA in this, but that, you know, that kind of DNA, again, for me, I'm kind of an oversharer, you know, and sometimes, you know, that's kind of another attribute of being a performer, isn't it? You know, you kind of, but for me, I remember like going watching my little girl got cast as young Snow White in a production for Performing Arts. And she was like the youngest girl there, but she got this part with buzzing, you know, and she loves performing on stage. That's what worries me, that she's got a bit of my mindset. I'm just thinking, please don't have them thoughts that I have. You know what I mean? So it does worry her, you know, just kind of, you know, because I think that mental health is hereditary as well. I personally think that, you know, so yeah, I do worry about it. But anyway, she kind of came on stage, and you could see that her first ever time on stage, 200 people watching her, she just froze and the spotlight was on her. And I remember, like, I'm sat next to my wife and I'm going, are you going to do something in that? And she's going, are you doing it? What do you fucking want me to do? You know, and I'm asking her to do something. We're just going, just like literally fucking punching each other in the face, going, fucking do something. you know, but like the panic and the anxiety and I was upset that she was upset. I was angry at myself because I was helpless, and I had to come home, and I just didn't know what to do. And I just went and did a Facebook Live and just went, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I just need to get this off my chest. And I then kind of went into the thing and just said, I don't know what you're supposed to do about it, but I need a bit of a rant. You know what I mean? And I was like, my little girl just been on stage, her opening night, and she crashed and burned, and it broke me out. And I didn't know whether to shout at a woman for not, somebody going, just stop singing, man. I didn't know whether to be angry at me. I didn't know whether to be angry at my wife. And I was, then picking the bones out of it. And all it was she just forgot. She just couldn't come in on cue because the lights had hit her and she didn't know what to do. The next night, she went back and smashed it. But just me getting home, I needed that rant. I needed to overshare it. You know what I mean? And whether I could have done that differently, like either writing it down or just doing a voice note to myself that I could kind of reference later on in the week, or something to play Marnie, when she was a little bit older, or, but the feedback on it, and no doubt people go, fuck, what is this prick going on about? He's this little girl who's got this part and he's still not happy. You know what I mean? But it's just like, just the oversharing, I think is a big deal. I think when you spend a lot of time on your own, whether it be in a cabin, in a car, on a flight, you kind of got a million different thoughts going your head, and you kind of processing something that might have happened or something that you're thinking is going to happen. And you just kind of, I think that's quite a common denominator within the business. And, you kind of interviewing yourself, aren't you? And you can't, it's you and your monkey, you're having this chat nonstop. It's just like, and until you get that out and share it, whether it be via text, written on a page, or written, typed on your MacBook, or just put on your phone, or just done as a stream, or anything. I think that sharing or just getting it off, that energy that you're on about is, you're 100% right.
Yeah. No, it is. It's that what I find, especially with a lot of the clients that I work with and stuff like that. And look, I've got family members that go through things, and the venomous poison you get from thoughts, because for a lot of people we get stuck right up in here, and people don't realize that it's just thoughts. And unless you've worked with someone who can say, actually, that's quite common, and that's quite common, and we just let that one go, that one's not one, right, we can deal with that one, let's deal with that one. Is that something that we need to dive into and stuff like that? Yeah, people are scared of their thoughts. I've been there, and I always come from a place of absolutely abysmal mental health due to something that happened. And yes, thoughts are scary, and that's why we do chatter about the chatter podcast. That's why I do the radio shows. So obviously we've overshared here. Hopefully that will resonate with someone. Right, I need to talk about what's popping up. Because the second you start talking about it and it gets normalized, that's what makes the difference for a lot of people. And what you've shared about everything that's going on, brilliant, well done, absolutely pat on the back for that, Tony. Because it's not easy talking about his thoughts and stuff like that. Yeah. And oversharing is a good thing to do. If it helps you, but that's what it's
oversharing is caring. But I think, what, like how we talk about this last kind of period of, COVID and whatnot from March last year, I think it's, pulling the positives yet again. Some of the messages I've had from people, like some of my mates are nothing like, a lot of my mates are nothing like me. You've got Gary, Howard, Jason and Mark, but no, but it's very few, I came up with something saying, the smaller the circle, the stronger the ring. I kind of had issues. If I'm on a stag do, everybody expects me to sort the guest lists out, and can you get us in there, and can you do that? Because that's what you kind of do with the contacts within the hospitality sector. And and you kind of, and then after a few beers, and you kind of get into your character a little bit, don't you? And you just kind of, and I was just I come away from a stag do and I'd had a bit of an issue with a lad there. And I was like, you know what? You're just being a prick. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
about yourself.
Yeah, you're just being an absolute knob, mate. And, you know, I just didn't help myself. But I thought, you know what? I've got too many friends here. Or let's not say friends, I've got too many pals.
Yeah.
You know, and I need to close that circle a little bit to who I entrust, who I feel that I can be with and be open with.
Mm-hmm.
And so that happened, and it kind of, you know what, the relationship with the other lads kind of got better because, you know, we're not, you know, being with each other all the time. So now on the rare occasion we might meet twice a year rather than twice a month, you know, now it's like 2 great nights rather than, you know, 1 amazing night a year and the rest all being a bit shitty and some shit going on. You know what I mean? But that's just growing up as well, isn't it? That's just your personal kind of experience. I mean, I'm still making shitloads of mistakes now, but you kind of rely upon your experience and try and get into your mindset there that, you know, well, that's wrong because, you know, I've not been whiter than white and I've made some massive fuck ups, but you've got to learn from them. And if you kind of went through life, imagine how shit your life would be if you made no mistakes.
I think it would be highly unreal.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
No,
it's not possible.
It's like this last 12 months been the most divisive through people, whether they believe in the vaccine, through black. It's been through, you know, vaccine, anti-vaccine, black or white, north or south, in or out. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, like your sex life, could it? And you know what? But listen, I don't get people who are racist at all. I don't, you know, because we're not born with that mindset. That's just poor education. I mean, the fact that my kids can go and play in a swimming pool in Ibiza, my English kids who are quarter Indian can go and swim in a swimming pool in Ibiza and play with French kids who they can't speak to each other, but they, you know, just there's no, where does that kind of, hang on a minute, I don't like you because you're not the same color skin as me. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a weird mindset, and that's a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
But I've lost my train of thought now.
It's all right. I'm enjoying listening.
But you know, that it would be such a boring world if we all supported the same football club, had the same point of view. You know, and it's just there is like the stories like the tiger who said that the green was blue and all that. You know, just
that was a good post, right? You like the tiger post?
Yeah, I did. See, I read stuff and take it in, but you know, but that kind of goes in and it sinks in. So, like anybody who kind of is listening and just thinking, you know, he might be a prick, but he speaks a little bit of sense every now and then. You know, just if you kind of take anything, yet again, being a performer, if you're a performer and go and watch another performer and don't try and take something that's good from them, make it your own. Then what was that?
I've no idea.
Just pause 1 minute, mate.
Yeah. It's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
Health and
Everybody just my little boy just had a meltdown because he can't get his leg all together. Yes.
We've all had that meltdown, let's be honest.
Wait till he stands on the fucking things. So yeah, I mean, there's such a huge difference between diversity, which is amazing, and division, you know, and I think people kind of confuse the two quite a lot. You know, just I think that, you know, people who are bitter should change your vowel and become better.
Oof, preaching, Tony, preaching. Oof, I've not seen that one before. That's a good one.
Because it's mine.
Good stuff. Change your letter. I like that.
And not just change your vowel. You don't even have to change your letter. Just change your vowel.
Yes. Love that. That's a good one. Diversity and division, especially the way the world is going at this moment in time. Yeah, everyone's allowed an opinion. You don't have to agree with those opinions. Totally understand that. So honestly, great chat.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, and I've got a question for you.
6-inch massive girth. That's the Robbie answer. See what I mean? That's the Robbie answer.
What's your favorite Robbie song to perform? What's your favorite song to perform?
Well, and it's a song that probably is quite, if you listen to it and know the meaning of it and see the video, it's a song called Come Undone.
Oh, I do like that one. That was a good album. That was Escapology?
Escapology, the best album he's done, 2002.
That was a great album. A phenomenal album.
Yeah, it was just like, it was Nebworth, the Nebworth anniversary last week, and we went on the Sunday, and you know, it's just all about, and it was always just wanting to be his best mate. And now, you know, they are best mate, takes him on tour, puts him on stage with him, sings Sweet Caroline, which has made my set a lot more fun. And so it's just kind of, you know, songs kind of, this is an issue I have sometimes in my way, and this is where I've kind of learned to adapt. If I'm like on my own hotel room for 3 days, if I listen to too much music, it can affect me in a bad way, where I kind of get, you know, I think there's kind of, I was going to say there's 2 different kinds of people. There's 3 different kinds of people. There's people who don't listen to music. Now, if that's you, then you are really weird. Not being judgmental. People who don't listen to music, there's people who listen to music, and there's people who listen to music but listen to the live versions.
Right.
You know, right. So you get the crowd singing, and you get that rawness, and you kind of get that different version of what you're used to, and ad-libbing and stuff like that. And I'm a big unplugged album fan. So whether it be, you know, an MTV unplugged album, it can be even be something as quaint as, you know, Bryan Adams, or something a little bit more rocky like Robbie at Nebworth, or, you know, might be AC/DC live, something like that. You know, I listen to a lot of live albums, but I can listen to it and, man, it can send me the wrong way. And I can, like, you know, music is one of them things that kind of, it just strikes me, and I can just hear a chord, or hear a note, or hear a lyric, and I can just be in floods of tears from it.
Yeah.
No, I know we kind of relate, and mentioned about, like, my little girl. We went watching Mr. Tumble live, and she was 2 years old. And when the music started playing and Mr. Tumble being left at the orphanage, the sad music, she just got really upset. You know, because she just felt that music, that it was, I said, man, you know, she was 2, she was like, sad music. You know what I mean? Just like the fact that it, and that does kind of worry me, that she kind of, I love the fact that feels the emotion of the songs. You know what I mean? And that's because that's what I do. I listen to a song, like, you know, I was lucky that, I'm fortunate that I grew up in even though mum and dad split up at 16, I had 16 years of every summer we went on a family holiday for 2 or 3 weeks to Minorca. You know, I had 2 brothers. We argued, but we played, we laughed. You know, we kind of got on each other's tits. We just, you know, I had 16 years of memories. But like every time I hear a song, it will remind me of being in Dad's car, or being on a family trip, or being on a certain holiday. And I love being able to have that kind of association to music, and like going back to like the Come Undone thing. It's just a song that when I'm on stage, sometimes I just think, man, you're getting paid to sing your favorite song. And what right have I got to moan about anything else?
Yeah.
You know, it's like whether I'm on first, second, or third of a show, or whether I'm not closing show, you're getting paid to be on stage and sing your favorite song. You know what I mean? End of the day. How many people would love to do that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, again, it's just trying to pull a positive on it, and kind of have that PMA, you know, just, and I think it works, whether it be going out for a walk and just kind of getting tuned in for the day ahead, or going for having the day, and then, you know, kind of just kind of recycling what's gone on, as long as you're kind of keeping that positive slant on it. I think that's the future for me. And it's I'm saying that now thinking, but you could easily have a meltdown tomorrow, Tony. You know, I could. You know, any of us could.
Yes.
But I'm feeling stronger and stronger all the time. As I get older, I think let's just hope that that's something we all just get a little bit wiser and a bit more resilient, you know, because listen, if we were getting older and like I said, I stopped playing football, if your knees stopped, absolutely killed you, you wouldn't play football. So if you're doing something that's kind of upsetting your mindset, then maybe stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
100%. So that's very honestly really good. Cheers, mate. And another good one for you. Another good question. What came first regarding the tribute? Did you realize you look like Robbie, or did you like his music? What came first for you to think, oh, I'm going to be a Robbie tribute? So what came first? Seriously.
Well, I was a Robbie fan first and foremost.
Right.
Quite a nice story to tie in. Like in 3 weeks, I'm best man for my mate Chris Partington, and he bought Life Through a Lens, and he recorded it onto a tape for me and said, "You need to listen to the album." You know, just because I got told that I looked a bit like Robbie Williams when I was like 15. You know, the tape that was 95, so tape that we're getting, you know, massive before he left in 96 was it, and I was like, listen, I don't want to look like somebody in a boy band. They're all gay. I don't want to look like a gay. Hey there, dude.
I am. It just stopped. It literally stopped and said, I don't want to look like a gay boy band. And then it just completely. So for anyone watching, they're going to be like, oh my God, the homophobia. Because I know you're going to finish off that sentence with that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, because.
So go back in.
But there you go. 15 years old. You know, we speak about diversity and like, you know, being a northerner and, you know, I didn't know any gay people and stuff like that. Now, our house is always full of them. You know, I've got loads of, you know, like yourself. It just, you know, and now it's just part and parcel of life. My wife was walked down the aisle at our wedding by a gay best friend. So it embarrasses me a little bit that I felt like that at 15. No, maybe that was that generational thing. And, you know, and Luke, there you go. Education and evolution of yourself. Of
course.
You know, so listen, so then I get to 17, 18, and I'm going in bars and girls are coming up going, oh, you really like Robbie Williams. I'm going, oh, this is all right.
Thing.
Yeah. But Chris, my mate, he buys the album, he puts it on a tape, he says, listen to this. So I've got my Iowa Walkman on. You know what I mean? Who would have thought that now we'd be paying £350 for a pair of headphones when we used to have these little foam things that went in your head and just, you know, with a piece of wire.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember walking to my girlfriend's at the time, walking down to Cape Valentine's in Sanderson's Croft, and the song come on and it started snowing. And I was like, wow. And it was Angels. And I was just like, my mind was blown by this. I just can't, yet again, being able to relate and feel that song, I was like, what the fucking hell is this song? And then I don't remember on the Walkman, you had a posh Walkman. It was like AMS, and it'd go to it'd rewind or fast forward to the next track.
Right.
I mean, because obviously you'd be going, and then you'd wouldn't you? That's what you'd be doing to try and listen to where the song started. And we just kind of go, and I was like, listen to it again, and I was like, oh my God, just kind of had this profound moment. It was like, Chris, this is awesome. Love the thing, you know, and just, he said, well, I've got us tickets for the Royal Court as well for his first ever tour. So we kind of did that. And I remember standing in line there was me, Chris, his cousin Wayne. He actually mentioned this last week, Wayne, to me. And we were stood at Royal Court at Liverpool. We got a train in from Atherton, and it was just full of birds in the queue. You know what I mean? And we were like the only 3 guys there. And these Scouse lads come up and went, "Yeah, lads, are you fucking gay, you lot, or what?" You know what I mean? And I'd love to know them lads are, and like see him now after the experience of I've had from doing what I do and going, doing all right, weren't we after queuing for that? And it just got to a point where I loved Robbie, and then got put up in Blackpool and Joey Blower's Pub Stars at the North Pier at the Merry England.
I know it well.
Won a competition I didn't know I was in because I didn't even know what planet it was on. And just won the whole thing, got spotted. And, you know, the rest, as they say, is history, and just been really lucky and fortunate to have, you know, you were so reliant on another person. And, you know, you kind of, so when you see Robbie having his struggles in the past, you're like, shit. You know, I remember my hairdresser at the time, he said, he's going to be dead in 2 years. You know, that
didn't look good.
You know, he's going to be dead. And it's just like, well, let's hope not. And then, you know, his longevity has kind of created a longevity for us and give us so many opportunities that we're thankful for. And that's yet again, just trying to be thankful. And, you know, I'm not a religious person. I believe, you know, there's something massive out there that is bigger than us all, but I'm probably a bit of an atheist, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thankful and accepting, and I probably don't always show that to myself, never mind anybody else. But, you know, when you speak about it in the cold light of day now, like me and you do, then, you know, I've been really, really lucky.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Tony. Oversharing is caring, as Tony would say.
Okay. Yeah. Do you just want the short answer?
So are you going to be releasing a Christmas album? Because that's all Robbie does at the moment, right? It's Christmas albums.
Yeah, but listen, it's a niche, innit? It pays for Noddy Older's Barbados.
It does. It absolutely does. I love the jokes that Noddy's like, that's the one song, and I literally don't work anymore because of that one song, and it just pays me. I love that. It's brilliant.
Yeah, we were kind of the friends we were with yesterday. He's got, you know, he's in the business, and he was just, you know, should we try and get you, because obviously I do a pod called Nothing to Promote, which is the irony of me trying to promote that on there is, you know, and that's just like this, just chatting to people from different walks of life, a lot more famous than me, and we just chat. And then yesterday we were like, you know, should we your goal should be trying to get Robbie on that pod.
Yes, you should.
And we should do it as a home and away version. So you go to him and you see what he's got, and then he comes and sees the life that you've got, and you can say, no, this is because you're pretty good. No.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Maybe that's, you know, how we kind of put the mind journal down. That's something that we put down now. And, you know, I've got goals, and some are probably more realistic than others, but you just never know. And I think ultimately getting out of this shitstorm that we've been in with your health is kind of, that's all we can ask at the moment, isn't it?
It is. Right, I'll tell you what, oversharing is caring. I was doing something with one of my mentors on Monday, and it was a core values thing, and he asked me some questions, and I literally started crying like a small child. And I think even the guy that I was working with was like, what's going on? And I was doing it on a video as well. So at the back of my mind, my monkey mind's going, you do realize you're videotaping this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. Look, I'm 6'2", I'm 3 feet wide. I cry. I don't even mind admitting that. And then I started laughing. So because I always laugh. I'm the kind of person, unfortunately, that if I go to a funeral, I'm probably in the back corner just laughing. I do. I find out there's an association with uncomfortableness. I laugh, and that's the thing. So I am kind of that person. What are you laughing? It's a funeral. Just because I'm not allowed to laugh. I'm not allowed to laugh. So I started laughing after I started crying. And he was like, are you all right? I said, no, I'm fine. I'm laughing because I'll be honest with you. I've literally had the worst year of my life. I've had the worst year of my life, from losing my job, losing all the savings, starting a business, taking on some family joy, which wasn't really family joy, struggling with everything for the year, and I'm still here. Everything is. I'm not actually found it that hard, and I'm just laughing because we are stronger than we like to think we are.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that to a few people. Like, who sadly, did you know Paul Eastwood, the
I
comedian?
didn't know him. I know I saw that on Facebook. I didn't know Paul Eastwood. I apologize. No.
Yeah, well, not your fault if you never met him.
No, I know. I was trying to look and think. I don't know if I worked with him on the ships. No, I saw this.
No, it's just, and that brings up so much emotion, because I'm angry with him. That he's got through all this, and then he's not died of COVID. I'm just angry with him about it, because he had so much more left to give. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, so dealing with that, you kind of got that grief, and then you kind of dealing with all these different kind of things, and it's like, it's like spinning plates, isn't it? You kind of get these different emotions, but just getting through it, it gives you a bit of I think I know that Robbie says it as he goes, and he starts off they all go in a huddle, and his thing is, he says, Elvis, grant me serenity, for the things that we cannot change, accept the things we can, the power to know the difference. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? It's something like that. And like being able to accept the things that we cannot change is like a massive, massive talent, because I'm shit at it at times.
Yeah. I learned that one 9 years ago, and I was like, yeah, that's now coded all the way up in here. Absolutely.
And if you kind of wanting to focus on, you're trying to focus on trying to change something or change somebody that you've got no hope of doing. You know what I mean? That's what I think, that I've been guilty of, that, trying to fix things and kind of, just kind of trying to do things that I've just been busy and just going, what? And then looking back and going, why did you waste so much time, energy and emotion on that?
Yeah.
And you're kind of exhausted by it as well. It's like exhuming, exhausting. And, just like, now you kind of go, right. So somebody's doing something. So say somebody owes me some money. Right. If somebody, if I very, for a long time, I haven't had to borrow money off any of my mates. I borrowed it off banks and stuff, and I ain't paying them bastards back. But if I borrowed money off my mates, so say, Cuddy, listen, you're minted, you've got a nice Under Armour top on there, you must have plenty of cash. You spend fuck all. No, but and said, listen, any chance for borrow, whether it be £100 or £1,000, and you said, right, no worries, let's do that. If I couldn't kind of live with myself not being able to give you that, not giving you that money back.
Well, that's, then, yeah.
But that's me.
That's a
I've lent money to somebody, and they had no intention of paying the money back.
Yep.
And you know what? I can't physically go and, drag the money off them. If they've not got the money.
But that's just, it.
But me and my missus were going, am I wrong in thinking, what am I doing here? Am I fucking stupid? Going, what? And you start doubting your moral values, ethos, and kind of, mentality. You're just going, what? Hang on a minute. Is it, if you lend somebody some money, they should pay it back, right? That is that, and you're kind of thinking, well, maybe if you lend some money, you don't have to, or you borrow money, don't you? That's what you do. The person giving it is lender. That's a bit of a pet hate of mine as well, getting words wrong like that. See, look at all these monkeys now just climbing all over me.
That's why it's called Chatter About the Chatter. You've definitely overshared today. It's brilliant. How do you feel, Tony? How do you feel?
I can either go and have a lie down. But that's it. You start second guessing you. And listen, my moral values will be different to somebody else's, whether that be right or wrong, but they're mine. And I now got to accept that the person that kind of did that, that's their moral value. They're not going to give it back. You know what? I say it's only money, and we've spoken about money earlier in this, but it's the value, and you just kind of got to go, well, if that's how it is, that's how it is. Because you know what is kind of amazing about money is that you can always make some more. But if you can never get the time back, and you can never get that energy back.
No.
So, I think that's how you've got to kind of deal with that.
As Frozen once said, let it go.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've let a lot of go, mate. Yeah. If you just send me the bill, just send me the bill for the consultancy, and we'll be all right.
Well, honestly, I only had a few questions for you. This has been great, Tony. And Tony, the fact that we've only met I think we've only actually met each other once in Blackpool on the drinking night, because I'm not really a big drinker, but I went out with Phil for a drinking night, and that's how I met her. We've stayed in contact. It's weird because this was a great chat. This was great banter.
Thanks for having us, dude.
It's not a problem. Thank you very much for jumping on. Very much appreciated. I'll send it you on my socials and everything like that, and I'll tag you in it. Yeah. And what's your podcast called? It is
Nothing to Promote.
Nothing to Promote. And where are you going to be performing over the next month, so people can say, "Oh, I'm in that neck of the woods." That's where.
Yeah, there's a gig list over on Tony as Robbie at Hot. Give me an email address right there. No dick pics. Everything's Tony as Robbie on my socials. There's gig lists over onto the Facebook page. And tonight we're off to Kings and Queens, the residency there at Blackpool Central Pier. Tomorrow, what is it? Friday tomorrow. I'm up in South Shields tomorrow. I love going. You know what? I know that you are north of the border, aren't you?
Look at the disgust on his face.
No, because
Scotland, Tony.
The more northern you get in the UK, the better the crowds get, because the crazier the people are. And I mean that crazy, I'm talking about mindset, so crazy in a good way. But if we go up to the northeast like we do tomorrow at South Shields, they'll be absolutely bouncing, brilliant people. Saturday, Rochdale with my band as well, which is nice and local for us. It's only like 25, 30 minutes. And then Sunday down at Eastleigh, Southampton, for Phony Fest at the Concord Club. So, festivals kicking back in. So good week, busy weekend. It's going to be interesting working off all these tapas, San Miguel's and gin and tonics. And
are you up in Scotland this year?
Not yet. Are you open yet?
Actually, technically, well, no, I know they're doing the Fringe, and I know there's like outdoor venues and stuff open. So we're back down to zero. We're down to level 0 at the moment. We've still got to wear masks.
Good. Well, and I will hopefully get up there and we'll have a catch up, mate. And
absolutely, Tony. Thank you very much.
You can take me for one of those lovely dips.
I do love my dipping. I love those dips. I love it, mate. Absolutely. In the ice, it's the best thing for your mental health, because we avoid things, right? That's what the monkey does. We avoid things. So if you can do something you don't like, get comfortable with the uncomfortable, your resilience goes up and up and up and up and up. And my mindset has absolutely elevated over the past year. It genuinely has. It really has.
It's good. I think they love doing that in like Helsinki. The Finnish love it because they have the sauna. A lot of houses have saunas, and then you go out the sauna and go straight into the lake. They like cut holes and dip in. And like a few of our friends, they'd take us out over there, and it'd be like, you're going to get out of 95-degree heat and go and get in -15. And like, well, yeah, just like, you sure? And I did it. And I was like, it was an experience. And I think my testicles have only just dropped out of my stomach.
Oh,
but in saying that, it was very refreshing. And like you say, it does kind of wake you up, and, the senses are kind of there, and, it does give you a lease of life.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Tony. I know you're gigging tonight. I know you've got to get off. So honestly, big love from me, mate. Thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having us, mate. Top man.
Absolutely.
So love to everybody out there, dude.
Yeah. No, I love it. Thank you so much. This is another episode of Chatter About the Chatter. Today was Tony as Robbie. Check him out performing all over the UK, not in Scotland yet. And check out his podcast as well. Nothing to promote. I want to sign up because I know you're going, but it was Lee Sharp, one of your heroes.
Yeah, just yet again, just look. It's people I've kind of, I hate using the word come across because I have a filthy mind, but people I've been lucky to interact with at some point in this. We say the word journey a lot, don't we? And this 2-decade journey. The first one was a guy called Adam Cattrall, who's a presenter over on BT Sports and now just signed up for DAZN and TalkSport and on the UFC and the boxing. The second one was Claire Richards from Steps.
Yeah.
Third one was Dom Matteo, former footballer who had a brain tumor not too long ago. The fourth one was a guy called Ricky Martin who won The Apprentice, the first £1 million profitable business for The Apprentice, and he's called Ricky Martin. So when I saw that Ricky Martin with the blue tick started following me, I was like, who's that? He was like, wow, living La Vida. And then the last one was Sharpie. Yeah, so we're just building and getting ready for season 2 now. And I'm sure, like, as you know, these can take time and planning and take quite a lot of energy as well. Yeah. So we're just planning it all out. So we've got the content, and season 2 is going to be up and running in the next month, hopefully.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you. Honestly, cheers. Thank you very much for being on. Much appreciated.
Listen, my pleasure, dude.
Big love, Tony. Have a fantastic time. And it's a goodbye from me. And it's a goodbye from
me.
Tony. See you later, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.